May 26th, 2013, the Gulf of Guinea off the coast of Nigeria. A 29-year-old cook named Harrison Okene steps out of his bunk before dawn. He walks down the steel corridor of the Jascon 4 tugboat. The vessel is stabilizing a massive oil tanker in rough seas. The ocean is churning with unusual violence. A freak ocean swell hits the starboard side of the tugboat. The ship pitches sharply into the freezing water. The massive tow line snaps under the immense pressure. The Jascon 4 rolls over completely. Water violently breaches the lower bulkheads. Harrison is thrown against the bathroom wall. The emergency lights flicker and die. The entire ship is plunged into absolute darkness. The ocean roars into the narrow corridors. Harrison feels the icy water rising past his waist. The vessel is rapidly sinking. It plunges 30 meters down to the dark ocean floor. It lands upside down in the thick mud. Harrison is trapped inside a small air pocket in the officer's cabin. He is wearing only his underwear. The water temperature drops to freezing levels. He is completely blind in the submerged vessel. The air is already beginning to thin. He breathes slowly to conserve his limited oxygen. He listens to the heavy sounds of the deep ocean. The metal hull groans under the immense water pressure. He knows his 11 crewmates were locked inside their cabins. He is likely the only person still alive.
By morning, the terrifying reality of his situation sets in. The water level inside his small pocket fluctuates with the ocean tides outside. The rising water compresses the available oxygen. He realizes the air in the tiny bathroom will not last another day. He takes a desperate breath and dives into the submerged corridor. He navigates purely by touch through the pitch-black water. The overturned layout of the ship disorients him. He swims blindly into the adjacent engineer's office. This room holds a slightly larger pocket of trapped air. He drags a floating mattress and several displaced wooden wall panels into the corner. He wedges them together to form a fragile makeshift platform. He climbs out of the freezing water to stave off hypothermia. The air here is incredibly stale and heavy. He has absolutely no food. He has no access to fresh drinking water. A single bottle of Coca-Cola floats past his platform in the floating debris. He captures it and drinks the liquid slowly. Time loses all meaning in the absolute dark. He listens as predatory fish enter the open shipwreck below him. He hears them scavenging in the nearby flooded cabins. The sickening sounds echo clearly through the steel walls. He prays silently to keep his mind from breaking under the psychological strain. Carbon dioxide begins to build up in the confined space. The toxic gas is heavier than oxygen. It settles just above the waterline. He must stay elevated on his mattress to breathe the remaining clean air. His breathing becomes shallow and labored as the hours drag on. 2 full days pass in total darkness. The surface world has completely given up hope of finding survivors. The oil company dispatches a specialized team of saturation divers. Their mission is strictly a recovery operation. They are sent to retrieve the 12 bodies from the sunken wreckage. A South African diver named Nico van Heerden descends 30 meters to the seafloor. He wears a heavy commercial diving suit. The suit is equipped with a helmet camera and a bright headlamp. His video feed is broadcast live to the surface control room. Nico enters the inverted Jascon 4 through a broken hatch. He begins carefully clearing debris from the flooded corridors. He navigates slowly through the murky and sediment-filled water. He approaches the entrance to the engineer's office. The beam of his headlamp cuts through the total darkness.
Harrison sees the faint glow of the light reflecting off the surface of the water. He realizes someone is outside his room. He does not know if it is a rescue diver or a massive marine predator. He waits in terrified, frozen silence. Nico swims fully into the room. He sees a pale hand floating in the dark water. He assumes it belongs to another deceased crew member. Nico reaches out to grab the lifeless hand. The hand instantly reaches back and grips his heavy glove tightly. Nico screams into his communication microphone. The dive supervisor in the surface control room freezes in absolute shock. The live camera feed clearly shows a living human face emerging from the dark water. Harrison looks directly into the blinding light of the diver's helmet. He has been trapped underwater for exactly 60 hours. He is severely dehydrated. He is suffering from early-stage hypothermia. His skin is peeling from the prolonged saltwater exposure. The rescue team instantly realizes the extreme danger of his current situation. They cannot simply pull him to the surface. His body has absorbed lethal amounts of nitrogen from breathing compressed air at 30 meters of depth. A rapid ascent would cause a fatal case of decompression sickness. The surface team quickly formulates a complex extraction plan. Nico provides Harrison with a secondary hot water suit. This specialized suit immediately begins raising the survivor's dangerously low core temperature. The diver carefully instructs the exhausted cook on how to use a heavy diving helmet. Harrison must abandon his safe air pocket. He plunges back into the freezing water wearing the unfamiliar gear. Nico guides him through the treacherous, jagged wreckage of the sunken tugboat. They slowly swim out of the shattered hull into the open ocean. They enter a pressurized diving bell waiting on the seafloor. The bell is slowly raised to the surface support vessel. Harrison is immediately transferred into a hyperbaric decompression chamber on the deck of the ship. He spends the next 2 entire days locked inside the metal cylinder. The internal atmospheric pressure is slowly reduced to safely match the surface world. The deadly nitrogen slowly leaves his bloodstream. He finally steps out into the blinding daylight. He is the sole survivor of the catastrophic Jascon 4 disaster. The sunken ship remains on the ocean floor to this day. The diving helmet that saved him is kept in a secure facility. The engineer's office still holds a small pocket of stale air.